And welcome back, folks, to another episode of Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold. So we're joined here this week with assistant coach for your Granite City Lumberjacks, Mikey Lawrence. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be back.
Of course, another great weekend for the squad, another weekend sweep, and also now 11-0 on the season. Weekend, a little bit of a slower start in both nights, if you will. Starting off the contest on Friday was a little bit of a fast start for the team against the Minnesota Moose on the road, get up 3-0 in that first period. I'm sure that the team had to be feeling good with that fast start on Friday.
Yeah, started out great. Didn't finish how we wanted. Still got the win, and that's, it's one of those games, they happen. We were just glad to get out of there with a win, move on to the next one.
Yeah, that was one thing that really noted of just watching the contest was just that it felt like things kind of took a little bit of a backseat, weren't as aggressive as they were in that opening period. What was really kind of the big difference from that first of those last two periods that just didn't seem that the team was really moving on all cylinders?
I think it was just we looked slow. Not physical, kind of disengaging from every single aspect of the game, and that's not our style. So lo and behold, it gets a little closer and a little closer. Luckily, Ports puts in the empty netter to seal it, but up until then, it was like, all right, boys, let's go now. Let's go now. Let's go now.
Well, then you carry that momentum, of course, the win on Friday on the road, bring it right back here to Miller Buick GMC Arena. You take on Wilmer for the first time this season, and we've seen contests in the past against Wilmer can get out of hand early, but Wilmer came to play in that contest. First period, it was scoreless. What did the team really feel with that first period that really took away to build off of?
I think we played a good first period. Strategically, every one of our systems was right there, just the offense wasn't going. It might have been a little bit of a feeling out period since we haven't played them yet. Kind of first time seeing them, first time even a bunch of these guys have heard of them. So yeah, it was a slow start, but we got the wheels going.
Yeah, ultimately get that 1-0 lead after two periods, a shorthanded goal. That's been a big focus this season, or at least of recognition with the play of special teams too. What ultimately kind of made that difference to get that shorthanded opportunity, but get the lead from that point?
Yeah, Millsy just gets in hard on the forecheck, turns the puck over, and Schultz is right there to put it in, and that's huge for the boys. I mean, it gets them going, shorthanded goal, and then after that, it was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, then ultimately close out the contest for shutout of the season. Trent Peterson is in net. How'd you feel about his performance between the pipes?
Oh, he's great. He's, we other coaches say it all the time. Like, you kind of got to check to see if he's got a pulse every once in a while because he's so calm, cool, and collected back there. So it was great to see him get his first.
Yeah, it's great to have that. Of course, carrying that momentum now 11-0 on the season. Big weekend here this weekend coming up. Smiles for Jake weekend. Last year was the first time that we had it. It was a great turnout for fans, for everybody, for a great organization. This is going to be your first opportunity with Smiles for Jake and the Smiles for Jake movement. I mean, what have you heard, or at least what you've talked about with maybe some of the players about this weekend coming up?
Yeah, I've heard it's just great. I mean, the organization itself is fantastic. They were here last year, and I heard nothing but great things. And then softball this summer, jumped on that team with you and DJ Mose, Juice. It's a good time. Everybody's so close. The camaraderie is right there, and they just seem to fit in with us so well.
Yeah, there's going to be a great amount of activities going on Friday and Saturday. Of course, Lumberjacks will be wearing special Smiles for Jake jerseys with those proceeds going towards the Smiles for Jake movement. There'll be raffle baskets from community members, obviously from Smiles for Jake. All that information and more you can find out about this weekend through the Lumberjacks on our social media platforms and smilesforjake.org. But let's talk about the games coming up this weekend. Both games at home. You got Alexandria on Friday, then take on the Minnesota Wilderness. I mean, there's been some changes since the last time that we've seen them too, but I'm sure there's a lot of things to work on this week with practice too.
Right, we're just getting everything dialed in. At this point, with being 11-0, what we're doing is working. So we're not trying to change anything like that. It's just fine tuning stuff. It really shouldn't matter who we play. But Alex being a rival, it's right there. All the boys know it. Everybody knows it in the building. So yeah, it's just getting dialed back in, and for it being Smiles for Jake weekend, it means that much more, and you can feel it in the room already.
Yeah, look forward to that. Of course, Alexandria on Friday, Wilderness on Saturday, Smiles for Jake weekend, 7:30 puck drops right here from Miller Buick GMC Arena. Again, you can find out more about the Smiles for Jake organization, smilesforjake.org. So feel free to come on down this weekend for great hockey as well as a great cause for Smiles for Jake. Now, usually with the show, we kind of wrap up this opening segment before going to our players, but Assistant Coach Mikey Lawrence wants some rapid fire questions. You ready for these?
Ready. You
All
left
right.
it out last time, so I'm ready.
So we're going to start off here. Well, what we do with our usual, with players, we talk about kind of pregame routine. What's kind of the thing that gets you going? Maybe morning of game day, right before you get to the rink. What's kind of that routine for you?
Usually get to the rink at about 2:00. We have, coaches sit down, talk with each other, just pretty much, get things dialed in. After that, 5:00, we have family dinner in the back, so everybody part of the organization is back there. And right after that, get in the shower, get ready. Mose usually goes out for warm-ups, and I kind of peek around the corner and then come back and give DJ my thoughts. Mose comes in, gives DJ his thoughts, and then it's game time.
Yep. And then we also you talked about family dinner beforehand. Is there any other meal you get beforehand before you come to the rink? Kind of a pregame meal?
Not typically. I'm not a big morning eater. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of just wait until 5:00. That 5:00 time rolls around and, try and keep it light. But
of course.
Willie's cooking and John bringing in stuff is always it's too good to keep it light.
Yeah,
So.
you never go hungry around here. Besides Granite City, which jersey has been your favorite out of your playing career?
Favorite out of my playing career? Back in the day, playing for West Michigan Hounds, AAA, we had the Toronto Maple Leafs color scheme, so yeah, I love those.
Nice. And talking about with style, who's got the best and worst style, maybe on the coaching staff or maybe the front office, the whole organization within it? So who's got the best and worst style?
Best style, I am gonna have to give to DJ.
Okay.
I mean, there's always a different combination every single day, whether it's shoes, shirt, blazer, pants, everything, and he's always just looking good. Worst style, I gotta go with Johnny. I gotta go John Hall. I mean, hopefully he doesn't find me for this one, but John, I think, has worn the same jacket for 8-9 years.
All right.
But hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. What's been the toughest part about making the transition to coaching?
I haven't really found anything to be too difficult yet. I mean, I step in at 11-0 right now as an assistant coach, and learning from DJ and Mose and interacting with the guys, and we have such a tight-knit group. They make it super easy, and DJ has told Mose and I multiple times he's never going to step on our feet or question anything. So it makes it super easy, not being afraid to make a mistake or a wrong line combination or something like that. So.
What's been your favorite moment from your playing career? Maybe here at Granite City, maybe elsewhere. What's been one of your favorite moments?
I would say I've always told everybody, like when I talk about playing in Granite City, it was our team and how close we were instantly and the camaraderie, and like still talk to a bunch of those guys to this day. And obviously DJ's here coaching. I played with him, so I would have to say being here and just the presence of everybody around you, your family right away. So I take that with me.
How about a little constructive criticism for us here on the show? What's maybe one thing that we can do to improve the Coach's Corner program?
I think you got to get Mo's daddy on here a little more. Maybe Mo's and Joe. Do a little Mo's daddy's betting corner.
Oh boy. We get sponsors for that. I think we could find a way for that. Finally, personal goals here for the season. What do you want to get out with your time here with Granite City?
Personally, I would love to see all our 04s find a place to play next year if they want to. We're not into the pushing kids on to do something they don't want to do. But for them to find a home that they're comfortable with at a university somewhere, and just watch them progressively move into the later stages of hockey. So junior's over, so now on to college. So that's something I would love to see.
There we go. Rapid fire here with assistant coach Mikey Lawrence, that being with Coach's Corner this week. Powered to you by Central Hydraulics. We'll step aside here for a break. More with our show coming up with one of our players. Smiles for Jake weekend coming up this weekend. Be sure to check out more information, smilesforjake.org. Coach's Corner back here after this. Welcome back here to Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold. As we take a break from your regularly scheduled programming, usually we speak with one of our players here during the week, but special treat for everybody out there, one of the many unsung heroes of the Granite City Lumberjacks. It is our equipment manager and my dad, Jim Vold, joining us here on the show. And Jimbo, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, there's a lot of things that happen during the week. Of course, getting ready for, a great weekend that is for Smiles for Jake. But anytime during the week, there's a lot of things that go into getting this hockey team ready. I know that there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. What's kind of the routine that you have kind of going, day by day during the week leading up to games?
Well, most days I get here about 7:30 and start by getting ready for practice, get the water bottles ready, vacuum the locker room and the middle room and coach's office and so forth, and get the bottles set out. And from there, then just wait for the guys to show up and answer any questions they may have or see to any needs they have, maybe some skate sharpening. But yeah, a lot of little things that take place. And with the big weekend coming up, we had new jerseys for the weekend, so I was busy yesterday putting all the nameplates on the jerseys for the kids, so got that done. That's one less thing to do, but yeah, that's kind of a few of the things that go on during the week.
Yeah, and leading up to, of course, a game day that comes along with it, obviously getting all the equipment ready and, jerseys, socks washed for all the players too. Even when it comes to game day, there's probably a few added tasks on top of everything else.
Yeah, a lot of things, little things you don't see behind the scenes, getting the ref stuff ready. We pack a cooler for the refs and give them towels so that they have beverages to drink during the game. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, little things like that. Skate sharpening during the week. Some guys come in last minute, might need a little touch up, or maybe after warm-ups they need a touch up. So little things like that you probably don't see, but setting up the bench and just getting the sticks in line and out on the bench for the guys, and getting their food table ready. So a lot of little things.
Yeah, and of course now you have the benefit of 2 home games. Sometimes even last weekend, 1 road game, 1 home game. There's probably a lot of things they got to pack up and get ready, and maybe need a little help getting at least stuff on the bus, off the bus too, with some of the players also.
Yep. Normally when we have a road game, I will pack all the stuff and get it ready to be loaded on the bus, and then the guys load it and unload it, and then I set it up at the away arena and help pack it up, and we get it loaded, and then they unload it again for me when we get back and put it in place. So yeah, couldn't do it without their help.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things that go into a road trip, with you name it: sharpener, glove dryer, food table, a couple tables, one for the sharpener, one for the food, making Gatorade, you name it. There's a lot of little things we do for the kids that is behind the scenes. So
absolutely, and one of the little things that you may contribute, but also is kind of a big thing for the program, kind of helping out at least in the recruiting and scouting side of things too, on top of just your basic equipment manager needs too.
Yeah, once high school season starts, I go out Tuesdays and Thursday nights and watch high school games and look for kids for the following year. So yeah, I enjoy doing it. It's fun to get out there and meet the kids and see them play, and then eventually hopefully have them play for us, and then build a little stronger, deeper relationship with them when they're here. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
And there's, of course, this weekend coming up, Smiles for Jake weekend, 2 home games. You already talked about getting the jerseys ready with nameplates too. Anything else you look at, kind of looking forward to this weekend with it being, of such importance for this program?
Not really anything for me. It's another weekend with a couple games, and it'll be busier than ever with the Smiles for Jake stuff. So, but it's fun. It's fun to have them here and be a part of their organization for a weekend and help them out. So
Yeah, look forward to it. Of course, equipment manager Jim Vold joins us here this week on Coach's Corner. Lumberjacks back in action Friday and Saturday right here at Miller Buick GMC Arena. They take on the Alexandria Blizzard on Friday with the Minnesota Wilderness on Saturday. It is Smiles for Jake weekend. You can find out so much more about Smiles for Jake by going to smilesforjake.com. and also check out our various social media platforms. We'll also check out our entire schedule and much more information, na3hl.com. Coach's Corner this week, powered to you by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold. We'll talk to you guys next week.